So far, you have done your base coat, your background color of your mask. When that's complete, then you're going to start adding details. This example already has the purple inside of the ear added. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks to get a really good result when you're adding details. You might want to add color on the inside of the ears. You might want to add eyes. Some people are going to add details like stripes or polka dots. You can be creative with your details. They don't necessarily have to be realistic. You might want to add eyebrows to your animal, little spots inside the pig's nose. It's up to you. First, you need to figure out what colors you want to use. So you'll get a few pieces of tissue paper. You're also going to need one of the grubby brushes that we use for paper mâché. I've got a container of paper mâché that I will share at my table. It's good to have a scissor, a pencil, and some extra white paper. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how to do an ear. So first I need to figure out how big I need to make that piece. Well, I just kind of estimate, and I'll use my piece of white paper. I need a piece that's at least this big, but it's not the right shape. So I'm going to kind of set it in there, and then with my pencil, I'll kind of sketch the shape, feel around the edge so I know about how big I want it to be. And then I cut out my piece of white. And I'll double check to make sure that that's the right shape and size. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to actually be using the white and the tissue paper both. So I'm going to keep this little ear, and I'm going to cut out tissue paper, trace it on the tissue paper, and cut out tissue paper that's the same size. And I actually want to make two of these because I want to do 2 layers of tissue paper to make sure it's not see-through. So I have my white, and then I'll cut out my 2 pieces of tissue paper. I'm going kind of quickly just to show you. You'll obviously go a little slower, do a nice neat job of cutting. I know that you can't see the pencil line, but I can. And after I get all the pieces cut out, then I can start putting them on. A smart thing to do would be to make 2 sets of these right away that are the same size. If I wanted to make the purple and the ear the same size, you can see this one's a little bit smaller because I didn't do that, so they won't perfectly match. But if you make extras, then you can have things more symmetrical. Okay, so when I'm ready to put on my shape, the first thing I start with is some goop right on the ear. If it's already wet from your first coat, you don't have to do this, but if it has had time to dry out, make sure you put a little goop on there. Then I'm going to set my piece of copy paper that I cut out, and I have to kind of gently push that in and smooth it down. Get rid of the wrinkles. Oops! Be gentle with it, you don't want to tear it. And then more goop on top. By putting a white base, you'll make sure that those colors really stand out. It'll be less see-through. Then I'll put my purple very gently. I don't want to rip my tissue paper. And then I'll do the second one right on top of that. Nice and gently. Now we have a detail that works really well for us. You can do that with all your details. So do the white paper first, put on a white paper eye, and then cut out your tissue paper and put your details over that. It'll show up very nice for you. Remember to wash your brushes out really well with soap and water, otherwise they'll be rock hard. Make sure that you are covering your tables with newspaper, cleaning up after yourselves really well today, and if you didn't get a chance to take the form off, if your mask was still a little wet, just wait and do that tomorrow. But if you did take your form off today, trim up the back side, make sure you put all the clay back and the forms back where they belong. Thanks, you guys. Have a good afternoon.